I don't want to say anger because I'm really not angry today, but my feeling of like disappointment is directed much more at Ryan Poles.
Yeah.
Everybody's rightfully upset about the offensive line. You gave up 6 sacks to one of the worst pass rushing teams in football. You scored 9 points against one of the worst defenses in football. Offense looks like a disaster. And I think it's time, and I'm not like going to sit here and say he should be fired. I don't believe that. It's ridiculous. But I do think we can ask fair questions and we can fairly criticize some of the decision making. He is the architect of this offensive line.
Yeah.
He is the architect of this defensive line that cannot stop the run. And that's kind of what I feel like is holding this team back the most right now. The offensive line and the defensive line, particularly in the running game. Yeah. And he built them.
Listen, I think here's my thing. You're where I was last week. You're where I was in week 2 when I watched Caleb Williams for the first time in the season. That is now, I think it's 3 times this season, where he got sacked over 5 times in a game. Last week, or yesterday, I should say, it's last week, I'm putting it behind me. I saw the same things that we've been questioning since Justin Fields was here year 1. I saw the same things we were questioning the last year of Mitch Trubisky. For some reason, this is the only franchise that believes that you can have everything else, but you don't need those big guys up front. And listen, I said it in week 2. This season falls at the feet of Ryan Poles because it's not like, I love that people are framing this as on both sides, on both sides of the debate. People are framing this as you couldn't go out and fix the offensive line no matter what. Well, if you got Caleb Williams, you couldn't fix the offensive line, and that's wrong. You know the decision you made? You said, we need somebody who can flip the field. Where are all you Tory Taylor lovers out there, by the way? Cover your ears. We need a guy that can flip the field. We punted. We were last in punts last season. Oh, my God, we have to punt. Punt. Yeah, you know when you don't need to punt? When your quarterback's able to stand back there and make a play. And I'm not saying you draft a project in the 4th round. Ryan Poles had a great time doing that in the 3rd round. I'm not saying you draft a project in the 4th round. I'm saying you package your 4th round pick, your 5th round pick, and a 2nd from this year. You move back into the 2nd last year, and you go get a couple of offensive linemen that were available that would have you feeling like you're moving in the right direction. Zach Frazier looked pretty good, don't he? Keeping Russell Wilson off the ground. Kept Justin Fields alive.
I don't know.
Standout rookie center. I love it.
I don't know that Pittsburgh's the offensive line you want to look at. I mean, if you want to...
I'm looking at that specific piece.
I get it.
JPJ.
Here's the point that I would make. Because, look, we can do punter talk again, too, but I'm so tired of it. I don't want to do it. And I don't agree with using a 4th-round pick on a punter. I never will. No matter how good Tory Taylor is, I'm never going to agree with it. It is what it is, though.
It looks worse when your quarterback's on his back.
But you know what looks worse than the Tory Taylor thing at this point? I'm sorry. Like Keenan Allen, he's an all-pro in his past. He's a Pro Bowler, whatever. That looks terrible. It looks terrible. He's got 21 catches. He's under 200 yards for the season. We're 8 games in now.
Yeah.
This isn't like early overreaction to DeAndre Swift, which I fell victim to. I'll admit it. No, we'll
see.
We're 8 games into the season.
36 yards yesterday. We'll see. Or 51 yards yesterday.
Keenan Allen is effectively a total nothing.
Yeah.
He's a drop machine when he is available. He's missed 2 games already. I'm not going to project that he's going to finish the season. He's never done it in his career, basically. He's a 13-game player. You're telling me that I watched, like Washington, went out and signed Tyler Biadasz to be a veteran center.
Yeah.
To a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
That is rather inexpensive. And I don't know how I'm supposed to sit here now, 9 weeks into the season, 8 games in, and think that the draft capital allocation and the salary cap allocation to Keenan Allen was worth it when you clearly needed a center, one was available, and Tyler Biadasz has been a complete revelation for Washington's offensive line. A total stud that was on the free agent market, and you could have had him for the total worth of the contract, 3 years, $30 million. $10 million annual. He's cap hit 4.15 this year.
Yeah.
$4.15 million for a veteran center who has been a complete revelation for one of the worst offensive lines in football a year ago that's playing at a rather high level. Why the hell was Tyler Biadasz not a Bear? Oh, so we could trade for Keenan Allen and then draft Rome Odunze? Pat, I remember us talking about this before the draft. I always said you can trade for a wide receiver or you can draft a wide receiver. You can't do both. You got too many holes on this team to do both. They did both.
But here's
I think you're paying the price in that your offensive line is dead people.
But here's the problem, Shea. Here's the problem. You did both, and you still could have addressed the offensive line. This is not picking one over the other, Shea. That's the conversation people are having. This is not, we chose Keenan Allen over going out and getting an offensive line. That's not this. Because you could have chose Keenan Allen, you could have got Rome Odunze, and you could have moved up in the draft to go get a second-round offensive lineman, not a third-round project.
I don't know. There has to be a team that's willing to deal with you, too. Like, I can't it takes two to tango. I can't just say that pick could have been anything. We could have moved up and gotten JPJ.
You don't think you could have moved up? You don't think if you're offering draft capital? Okay, even without that, though, everything else is there, right? Everything that we just said, Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen. You had an opportunity to sign multiple offensive linemen in training camp, and you said, no, we're good with the backup right guard that's never played center, who we're projecting to be our center, and the guy who was cut by the Rams because they got sick of seeing Matt Stafford get hit across the head because he was getting thrown around like a rag doll. It's not like you couldn't do both, Shea. That's my problem. Connor Williams was there. Keenan Allen was here. Rome Odunze was here. You could have gone out and gotten both. You chose not to. You know what the equivalent of what Ryan Poles did was? It's 3-2, bottom of the ninth, run around third. The ball is pitched. He didn't take the bat off his shoulder. The Cardinals sin.
Yeah.
It is not you chose one over the other. It's you didn't choose to pay attention to the most important position on the field, and you want to trust guys who played offensive line like you did. That's a problem. My problem isn't you overlooked one or that you didn't address both or you chose one over the other. My problem is you said that's good enough. And you know what the problem is? For your brand new rookie quarterback, you said good enough is good enough. And guess what, Shea? It's not good enough.
No, it's terrible.
Cap sat here last year and said, chase greatness. That was the words, chase greatness. He got on the podcast. Pat, why are you scared to chase greatness? Why are you scared to go after greatness? And my argument the entire time was, I'm fine with greatness. But can I have a great starting center? I haven't had one of those in 10 years, 15 years. Can I have a great left tackle? I don't remember the last great left tackle. I want greatness with the big dudes up front. Because you want to know why? You want to know the difference it makes, Shea? Sam Darnold is 6-2 and throwing dots.
Yeah. And that's even with making a trade after Christian Darrisaw went down for a starting level left tackle. I'm not telling you he's a great player, but they got a starting level left tackle.
He looked really good last night. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, he did.
I was sitting there during the show going, wow, impressed.
And look, they didn't score a lot of points in the first half, and Kevin O'Connell even said at halftime, we just got our left tackle. He's been here for a week. Yeah. We're figuring it out. But it's not like Sam Darnold was consistently on his back, and he wasn't under siege the way Caleb was. Really, man, the Keenan Allen thing, I think, was a mistake. I do. I know it's harsh to say that, but you traded for a receiver over the age of 30 with a kind of iffy injury history, and so far the dividends are nothing. It's costing a lot of money on the salary cap that could have been used to get offensive line help. Tyler Biadasz is going to be the one that kills me.
That's gonna be irritating.
I don't want to relitigate what Ryan Poles should have done. Hindsight's always going to be 20/20, but we are at the point where, look, it is his job to get these things right.
Yeah.
And it was fun when it was like, look at all these weapons, Keenan and Rome and DJ and Swift. And then you look at who's up front, and all offseason, I said the thing that's keeping me from saying this team can really contend is the fact that they don't have an offensive line.
Yeah.
And they don't, to my mind, have a good enough defensive line. It's great that Andrew Billings has come on as a pass rusher. It's great that Javon Dexter's come on as a pass rusher. You don't have anybody who can stop the run up front. No one. It's brutal.
Yeah.
And all offseason, like I got mad on during free agency when the window opened, and I'm watching everybody sign centers. I'm watching everybody sign O-line. I'm watching everybody sign D-line. The Texans went and added Daniil Hunter to Will Anderson.
Yeah.
You go, wow, that defense is going to be something. What did we get? We got DeAndre Swift, a couple backups basically on the O-line, and then a big trade for Keenan Allen. Huge swing. And my immediate reaction was, okay, they're not going to draft Rome Odunze at 9. Then they do draft Rome Odunze at 9.
Yeah.
Thank God, by the way, because he's a better player than Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
That's going to be the thing that kills me, is watching Keenan Allen be effectively, I don't want to say useless, it's too harsh, but he's just not involved in the offense. And he's not making good plays. He's not jumping for balls that are just a little over his head. He's making drops in the end zone. He's dropping first downs. He's not helping his quarterback. What'd you make the deal for? Why is he here? He's here to be effective on third down and to score and to be kind of a volume receiver. He's none of the three things.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is the tough part for me with all of it, though, right? We're going to blame the weapons. We're going to blame the offensive coordinator. We're going to blame Matt Eberflus. And not to say that none of those guys deserve blame, but please, I am begging people out there, go watch the All-22. Watch how many sacks Caleb Williams avoids. By the way, he ended up still getting 6 of them. I can't blame Keenan Allen for times when Keenan Allen is wide open because Caleb Williams can't get the football to him. You have to put the blame on him on a third down drop, right? That's the moment we brought you here for. He drops the football. I'm not there. But I can't sit here and say Keenan Allen's over the hill, Keenan Allen's done, when we're dropping back to throw it 40 times, probably 25 of those, Caleb Williams is running left or right trying to find somebody over the middle, trying to make something happen because the play is breaking down so fast, Shea. And this ain't Justin Fields year 3. This is a rookie. We're waiting for the game to slow down for him. Heck, I'm waiting for the game to slow down for Coleman Shelton up front. He's a 6-year vet. I'm waiting for the game to slow down for Darnell Wright on the right side, who may or may not miss some considerable time. Ian Rappaport dropping the bombshell last night that he may have a MCL sprain.
Yeah, now you're in trouble. I mean, you're going to be down 2 tackles. It's just this offensive line's already bad. You can't lose more personnel. Look, we're going to play the blame game. It's a Monday. It's a Bears Monday after a loss. That's kind of just what we do. I'm over firing all the blame on Matt Eberflus. I'm done. What we got out of them is exactly what I expected going into the game. I think if you want to blame Matt Eberflus, great. You want to blame Shane Waldron, great. You want to blame the O-line, great. You know who's responsible for all of those things? Ryan Poles. And I'm not telling you that Ryan Poles needs to be fired, but I do want to know when it's okay for people to criticize him.
Yeah, hold accountable.
And if we're at that point, 312-332-3776, we'll get your reaction to yesterday's loss. And if it's okay to start criticizing Ryan Poles for what he's built up front for Caleb Williams on this offensive line.
3rd down and 7 right here. Bunch set left, single receiver to the right, snap back, 4-man rush, and now they bring a 5th as Caleb goes deep down the field, wide open, pops it over there, far side of the field. It is Rome Odunze inside the 30 and wrestled down near the 24, 23-yard line of Arizona.
Shea Norling and Pat the Designer in for Greeny this morning on a Bears Monday. We've got Matt Eberflus scheduled to meet the media from Hallis Hall at 10:45. We will carry that live for you, and also your reaction to the latest Bears loss. They fall to 4-4 in Arizona yesterday, 29-9. Look, I started the show. I made it simple for me. I know everybody's angry at Matt Eberflus this morning. I'm really just not. I'm kind of over it. I don't have the energy to be all pissed that Matt Eberflus coached another bad game. It's just what I expect. My frustration is at this point reserved for Ryan Poles, who I don't think has done enough to build an offensive line that is respectable in this league. The Keenan Allen trade just looks awful. And I don't, it's hard to say that he's done a spectacular job building an NFL roster when you have a defensive line that rushes the passer well against bad teams in obvious passing downs, but the rest of the time just kind of gets destroyed by mobile quarterbacks in the running game. It's not an elite D-line. It's not. There's no way around it. So I'm wondering from you guys, 312-332-3776, are we at a point where we can start to just criticize Ryan Poles a little bit? Nobody's saying fire him. Nobody's using the F word this morning. We're not there.
Yeah.
I trust Ryan Poles to build this going forward. But what he's done so far, I mean, we got to talk about it. It's not good.
It's an oversight. That's the problem, and it's an oversight of something we all could see. That's where it gets bad. And, listen, this defense, I'm not out on this defense. Defense had a horrible game, 200 rushing yards allowed. I'm more worried about them, 213 rushing yards allowed. I'm more worried about them giving up the run than I am the pass. Kyler Murray did nothing yesterday that I think hurt you. Kyler Murray was the game plan was literally, we don't need you, Kyler. We know you had a long night of Call of Duty. You hang out. Hand the football off.
Black Ops 6 is taking up all his free time.
He's got some time. Kyler, we know this ain't your week, bud. We got James Conner back here, 107 yards. You know what? How about a DeMarcado big run? He got 51 of it on one. He got 4 yards the rest of the day. You know what I mean? Like, the conversation for me is not that Ryan Poles has built a bad team. But listen, when you have misses, you can call out misses.
Right, and I'm not saying that, but
the miss for me is the fact that you omitted something that everyone, let's not just say Chicago, Shea, every team in the NFL that played against us about Justin Fields last year would be in the lines after and go, y'all gonna get that boy killed. Guess what we're saying about Caleb Williams? 29 sacks into his rookie career.
And I'm not even saying that he's built a bad team. He's got two units that I think are actively bad. When your rush defense is as bad as it was yesterday, and it's not like it was one game, you just throw it out, you entered the game 17th against the rush.
Yeah.
Your defense has been bolstered by the secondary. When that's as bad as it is, when the offensive line is as bad as it is, and look, if we want to talk about Caleb Williams, we can, because I don't think he's blameless here either.
No, he was bad.
He hasn't played well. But part of that is you're asking a rookie quarterback to attempt 24 passes in the first half of a game. You don't even try to run the ball?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
You're not making anything easy for him. The route concepts make no sense. Keenan Allen's dropping first downs on him. And yeah, he's overthrowing the football, but I'm sorry, in the third quarter, when you come out and it's 1st and 10 and you're finally getting a positive drive, you're finally moving the football. 1st and 10, you go weird off-schedule home run ball to DJ Moore. Okay, Caleb probably shouldn't have thrown that. 2nd and 10, let's just get some of the yardage back. Nope, here's another 15-yard design for DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Bad throw. Okay, now you're facing 3rd and 10 in the face, and Arizona knows you're dropping back to pass. What do? Pin their ears back, sack. Drive over.
Yeah.
The sequencing of play calls makes no sense. You're finally doing things right. And on 1st and 10, you just go, we're going to throw a deep concept? What are you, insane? Run the ball.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the play calling at all. And I don't know if it's out of fear for the offensive line that can't block anything. I don't know what it is. But it makes no sense. And it's not helping a rookie quarterback learn and develop. It's not.
I think it all goes back to the same thing, though, right? It does go back to the O-line for me. But here's my issue. You tried to commit to the run early on. 5 carries to start the game off. 3.4 yards per carry. Not going to be good enough. Second quarter. 3.4 yards per carry. Not going to be good enough. Third quarter. 1 yard per carry. Not going to be good enough. Fourth quarter. Gets going a little bit. Big run. I think there was like a 12-yard run in there. 4.7 yards per carry. Not going to be good enough. At a certain point yesterday, they were running the football 9.3 yards per carry. There are two things you do to protect a young quarterback, Shea. You run the football well, and you protect them with an offensive line.
And there's one other thing you do. How about target a tight end?
That'd be nice. Cole Kmet, I believe 87% catch percentage on targets from Caleb Williams.
You know how many targets Cole Kmet has in the last 5 games? 13. He should be getting 13 targets a game.
Yeah.
13 targets over a 5-game stretch is insane. It's inexcusable. Let's go to the phones. Tito's on the south side. Tito, you're kicking us off.
Tito!
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's happening, man?
All right, so really quick, I just want to say that I'm not going to sit here and say that Ryan Poles, like, just what you said, Shea, I'm not going to blame him for everything, but yeah, he has tried addressing the offensive line. Nate Davis, he signed him. He was okay in Tennessee. Turned out to be a bust here. He picked up Darnold right in the draft. He's been, up and down, up and down. Dare we say Chris Morgan, I don't think he can develop offensive linemen. We can't pick up stunts. The run blocking is terrible now. The pass blocking is terrible. Maybe he doesn't know how to coach. As for Shane Waldron running a sweep with Roshan Johnson, when you know he's a power back on like 2 of those plays I saw in the game yesterday, I'm like, what is this guy thinking? What is he thinking? This guy's a north and south guy, but you have him going east and west. Great call. Absolutely great call. Eberflus, yeah, let's sit there. Oh, I want him out there getting more reps, more practice. More reps for what? To get pressured? Yeah. To get sacked? To get injured? What are you doing, man? This is boneheaded stuff right here. And honestly, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say Caleb's, poor him. He needs to make better decisions for sure. I see him going down the field a lot, looking for big plays. When you got Cole Kmet open down in the middle of the field or sitting in the soft zone. I've seen that plenty of times. So he needs to play better. But at the end of the day, this coaching staff just ain't it. They got to fix it. If they don't, it's going to be one hell of a season, man. You guys have a good day. I'll talk to you soon.
Tito, thanks, man. I am getting a little worried that the hero ball that Caleb's trying to play is just like he feels like he's back at USC.
Yeah.
His offensive line can't protect him. He knows he's under siege as soon as the ball gets snapped, and he's trying to do too much. And that was probably the biggest concern with him as a prospect, was that he's prone to hero ball.
Yeah. But the thing is, you've put him in positions where he's got to be a hero.
Yeah.
He's a rookie quarterback that likes that plays hero ball every now and then. You want to know why? Because his team can't make a play, so he's trying to make a play. Is that the wrong thing to do? For sure, in moments, right? I go back to last week, even yesterday right? You go for the touchdown to Keenan Allen, and then you go for the instead of going for the underneath pass to DJ Moore, like you had a walk-in touchdown. You had an opportunity to score points there. You went for the big play to Keenan Allen, and you missed the guy underneath. You got to take the guy underneath in moments like that. But I can't sit here and play the game of Caleb Williams is at fault. Caleb Williams is making terrible decisions. We want to talk about the accuracy. I'm concerned right with you because in the first half, He's once again was woefully inaccurate. And dare I say, in the first half, he was getting some solid protection. That offensive line didn't fall apart until the second half of that game. He was getting some solid protection early on. And he wasn't taking the easy plays. And that's going to be a problem for him, especially with an offensive line that you're going to have to take the checkdowns more times than not.